Welcome back, it's me, Lou. Okay, so just to warn you in advance, this is not going to be a full unboxing and review. If anything, this is going to be a strictly mint on card review, so I will not be removing this figure from the package. If you want, you can always just hunt around on YouTube. I'm sure there's, a ton of content creators out there who've actually removed this from the box and actually reviewed all the articulation and whatnot. But for me right now, we're just going to look at this figure strictly mint on card. And the reason why I took this out is because I want to bring up the discussion of whether or not it's okay to include the Horde Trooper and blend it or mix it into your Masters of the Universe Origins collection. So, alright, so we are getting actual Origins Horde Troopers. They were a PowerCon exclusive. It came in that Horde, I think it was like a 4-pack, I believe. It came with like, I think it came with Hordak, a red trooper, a black trooper, and there was another figure. I'm not sure if it was Grizzlo or something like that. And those were PowerCon exclusives, and I didn't attend PowerCon this year, and I didn't pre-order the set, because I was an idiot. And then I was trying to find reviews on it, because I figured the figures would have been out, or there would have been reviews, and I didn't realize, because I don't keep up to date with all the PowerCon news, and I didn't realize that the PowerCon exclusives were delayed, and that they weren't going to be shipped on time at PowerCon. So then I was reading that, PowerCon was saying, unfortunately, the exclusives aren't going to be received in time for the show. You can either have a refund or we'll ship them to you, once we get them. And then I was kind of like, oh, I guess there's no Horde Troopers actually out in the wild right now for people to review. And for me, it's kind of like, I've always wanted Horde Troopers. The original figures from the 80s command really high prices, even if they're incomplete or broken. I just guess they were really hard figures to come by, even back in the day. And I bought this figure maybe like 3 or 4 years ago. I kind of got back into Masters of the Universe, and I wanted Horde Troopers for my 2000X line, which is ironic because there is no Hordak for the 2000X line. There was only that weird statue that it was the same scale. There's that statue of Hordak that was made by like NECA, and I think it was sculpted by the Four Horsemen. And I just wanted Horde Troopers to display next to that Hordak. And then, so I went out and I found this on Amazon. And at the time, this was reasonably priced. I bought 2 of them. And at the time, maybe 3 or 4 years ago, I got them for maybe $30 a piece. Which wasn't bad considering the old 80s Horde Troopers. I found one on eBay, incomplete, broken for like $90, which is ridiculous. So the question at hand is this something that you could fudge into your Origins line? Even though we are getting official Horde Troopers in the exclusive set, and I'm sure down the road they'll release them at retail. Because the one in the PowerCon exclusive set, there's a red one and then there's a black one. Whereas the more common Horde Trooper, especially the ones that you saw in the cartoon, those were gray. And this is actually a gray figure, so, even though this is a larger scale, and is this something you would consider blending into your Origins line? So that's going to be the question at hand. So that's why we're looking at this. All right, so real quick, if you're wondering why this figure is in a weird cardboard box, so this was, I believe, a subscription-based service offered by Maddie Collector, which was owned by, not Hasbro, owned by Mattel. So I was kind of out of the loop with Masters of the Universe during this time period. So at the time, Mattel, they were producing Masters of the Universe, but they were Masters of the Universe Classics. And for many years, these figures were offered online only. And I believe it might have been either a subscription service or you kind of just paid for them up front or pre-ordered them. So this was from 2015. So you're looking at something that's, about 6 years old right now. As I stated, it was produced by Mattel. And I think once Mattel stopped producing classics, I think they handed it off to Super 7 for a couple of years, and Super 7 produced classic figures. And I'm kind of dabbling in the classic stuff. I do have a small handful of classics figures, and I think the end goal for that is just to get a couple of key characters. They're kind of pricey on the secondary market, but I think they're really awesome. Okay, so we have here the Masters of the Universe Classics, the Evil Horde. We have the Horde Trooper. Evil Mechanical Enforcer of Hordak. So essentially, these are kind of like, think of the Horde Trooper. It's almost like Hordak's version of the Stormtrooper from Star Wars. So, you know, this is a great army builder. And you know, if you do Google searches for people's like Masters of the Universe classics, like their own personal collections, you see a lot of fans and collectors. They've amassed, you know, small little armies of this guy, and rightfully so. It's an awesome figure. But is this something could you fudge into your Origins, you know, collection? Even though it's larger scale, I don't know. For me personally, it wouldn't bother me that much, even though we are getting official Horde Troopers. And I think one of the reasons why I was trying to hunt down a review of the PowerCon exclusives is because every time I saw like either promotional photos or like photos of the exclusive set, the real figures, they just looked shorter than Hordak, and that kind of bothered me. So then I was kind of like thinking, I'm like, oh, I still have that Horde Trooper in my closet. Let's take that out. So yeah, that's what we're gonna look at right here. It's considerably larger than an Origins figure. And I have one right here, and I'm going to try to line it up. So you're looking at the height difference is pretty drastic. You know, the Horde Trooper is like a head above Man-at-Arms. So in some ways, I could argue, yes, you could kind of like fudge these into your Origins line. Just because it looked like the official ones are a little short, which, you know, I mean, they are official, but they look a little bit short. And for me, I want my Horde Troopers to be large and menacing. Since these are still produced by Mattel, you know, they're still related. You know, they're still kind of like cousins. You know, it's not like this is a different company manufacturing. It's still Mattel. It's a Mattel-based toy, Mattel design toy. Aesthetically, it's not overly detailed. You know, like for example, like with Transformers, sometimes they'll take like an Optimus Prime and try to update them, and then they'll like overkill all the details. You know, aesthetically, the details here feel like they're in proportion and in line with something like this. It's not like the details here are like overly realistic. It's still kind of bearing that toy feel, if that makes any sense. The height difference doesn't bother me too much, just because you can argue it's a dude in armor, and you know, it's a Horde Trooper. You know, maybe on their world, people, the humanoid form might be a little bit larger. And you know, here's a better picture of the figure in terms of its actual armor. So you can see here the proportions are a little bit more realistic. They're not as like exaggerated or almost caricature like with the Origins figures. It's cool though. I mean, it's a really nice looking figure. You know, I think if you're impatient for the official figures, you know, especially if you just really want a gray Horde Trooper, I think this is a good stand-in. You know, it's a good stand-in until you get an official one. It looks nice aesthetically. It kind of blends in well with this. The only issue you're going to have is whether or not the height difference is going to bother you. For me, it doesn't. I like the idea of the Horde Troopers looking gigantic and towering over the Masters of the Universe. It makes them feel like more of a threat. And, you know, height-wise, you know, Man-at-Arms' head's barely coming over this guy's chin. But it's a great figure nonetheless. I think it's really awesome. Like I said, you know, I apologize for this not being a full unboxing and review. So, you know, if you want, go hunt down a full review on YouTube. I'm sure you'll find many reviews where people will highlight the articulation and whatnot. But I do feel this is a good alternative until we get a retail release of the Horde Trooper. You know, I think it's a good fit for the Origins line, albeit it's a little bit taller. Just be on the hunt for something that's, you know, reasonably priced. You know, this is an older figure. Chances are you might find it on eBay or like Facebook Marketplace or like a fan forum or whatever. But just make sure you're paying a decent price for it. Some of the classic figures are going for a lot of money nowadays, especially with the heightened popularity of Masters of the Universe, you know, the past year and a half. So yeah, I think it's a great figure. For me personally, I do plan on opening this one day once I get the classics figures that I want. And I'm looking forward to that day so I can display it next to my Hordak. So, alright, so with that being said, again, I apologize. If you're looking for a full review, I'm sorry I couldn't deliver on that. But at the very least, I just want to get the gears spinning. Is this something that you can use to complement the Origins line? For me, my answer is, why the hell not? Just go for it. It might, if for some it might bother them that the scale is a little bit different, but like I said, the Horde Trooper, it's a completely different beast. It's a dude from a different world. Maybe it's a larger grunt. I like the idea of it being a menacing, towering character over these guys, and it's nicely detailed. The details are great. The accessories are awesome. It's a nice distant cousin to the Origins figure. So with that being said, once again, my name is Lou. If you're new to my channel, did I say nude? If you are new to my channel, welcome. Or if you're new to my channel, welcome. If you're a returning subscriber or viewer, thank you so much for your likes, comments, and support. I greatly appreciate it. So until the next video, take care of yourself, be safe, and most importantly, be happy. And I'll see you at the next video. All right, later.